more Fox Tales this week. We have the fantastic Lindsay of a very own LL. Cool Games. How are you?
Ooh, I can't see you.
Oh no!
Video's not up there.
Oh.
How am I? I'm great. Otherwise,
You're not missing much. I look most of the same. Maybe slightly hairier and slightly pastier. Other than that, um, okay. Well, we'll just try and power through. Everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are when you find this. Uh, it's December. We're getting a bit festive. Yeah, I can see. Sat by the roaring open fire.
this one even makes the noises too. Like it has like the. I didn't want a music one because that might be too much, but yeah,
Yeah.
trying.
Oh well, okay. So you brought it up. You said music. So let's do that. Let's get festive. And so what is your favorite Christmas song?
Oh, my favorite Christmas song. Okay, so it would be the Christmas song. The Nat King Cole version is 100% like that's my dream Christmas song. Yeah.
Classic. Is that a childhood nostalgia thing as much as anything, or?
Yeah, maybe, right? It's one of those where once that one's on the radio, it's like really Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. I mean, do people even make Christmas songs anymore? It's like there's songs they're released at Christmas. They're usually ballads. They often have like a big coat and they're stood in the snow in the video, but like the
Yeah.
song's not really about Christmas. They'll not say that word anywhere in the song.
Yeah. 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 I can't. I mean, what is the most modern Christmas song that I know? Like, I can't answer that without
Yeah.
probably really hard. Interesting.
Okay. So how's the gamer girl? Gamer girl. Woman? The alliteration's
There
cool, but gamer mom. Well,
you go. Yeah.
yeah. But so how's the channel going?
Um, right now we've kind of flatlined. Like that's so embarrassing to me. I've kind of let things lie for a little bit. I got stuck. I had tried to record a video and then it was just one thing after another. I couldn't get the technology to work with me. And so then I was like, fine, right? I like threw a temper tantrum and then I haven't done anything for weeks. Like it's bad. So I have a video that I need to work on editing because then I did like the opposite and I recorded like a 50-minute video and now I'm like nobody wants to watch a 50-minute video on YouTube, so I'm gonna have to go through and chop it up a little bit. I might record like some like exit things, right? To
Yeah.
be like, okay, if you want more of this, watch the other videos kind of thing. Yeah, because if I throw a 50-minute video on YouTube, nobody's gonna touch that.
Well, that's
Um,
that's what they tell me, and
yeah.
and yet that will not stop me constantly throwing up 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour videos. Um, but I'm not here to chase the likes, the subscribes. I'm just here to meet cool people and have fun. Uh, I'm doing pretty well so far. For a guy who's not trying, I think I'm doing pretty well. Sometimes I do think like, what if I pushed it? You
Yeah.
know, but but then it's like, work and a job, and I have one of
Yeah.
those, and I don't like that,
Yeah.
but I do like doing this. So
Good.
yeah. So then, but one of the things, what kind of got me into following you in the first place was that idea of like it seemed very very real. you know, um,
You.
very true. It's just we're grown ups, we're parents, we're workers, but we still want to find time for like gaming, and
Yeah.
then even stupider, try and find time to go on social media and tell people about the games and things that we
No, I
like,
know.
um,
Yeah.
and just to see how that can naturally, even if it means a few weeks without any content,
Yeah.
um, I prefer that to the every Monday, every Thursday, or like every day. There's like content for the
Every
sake
day.
of content, and then
Yeah.
people kind of they wonder why they burn out, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like I know why you burn out.
Right. Because you're treating it like a job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so that being said, let's. I think it's only fair. Again, let's get festive. So Lindsay,
Mm.
Lindsay, you can't see me. I'm making the ghost face. Ooh.
I can
Tonight,
hear.
you will be visited by three ghosts. Well, I say ghosts. Three questions. It will be the
Ghost question.
question of Christmas past, the
Okay.
question of Christmas present, and
Right.
the question of Christmas future. Shocker, didn't
Okay.
see that coming. So, Christmas past. Do you have? It
Yeah.
may be gaming related. It may not. But do you have a? Is there like a favorite childhood Christmas? A particular gift you remember?
So I guess there's a couple. So there was a Christmas that my younger brother and I got our N64. That was our first like our kind of console. But what was funny is that we got it as like our Christmas Eve present, and then our parents were like, "No, you cannot open a game." So we had the console, and so we had to live like over Christmas night, like waiting
Oh,
Christmas morning to be able to even get a game, which is kind of honestly right. As a parent, it's one of those things where it's like, this kind of is mean, but right, like it's that the waiting, the anticipation is the fun part. So it's kind of a gift in itself that they made us wait.
oh,
So
wow.
yeah, that's
Yeah. For me, it was the Mega Drive or Genesis
wow.
to translate. It sticks with me to this day. I loved that thing, and that was the thing. It seemed like a real evolution. It seemed like a real step up
Yeah,
to anything that I played or had before. I could just kind of just leave like the title screen of Sonic just playing and
playing.
watching the demo just looking at it. I just never seen anything like it. It was to the point that to this day, like that sort of that era, some of those sort of classic 16-bit games, it's
Yeah.
like, do I have to own Streets of Rage on every platform that I bought since? Yes, actually I do. And Golden Axe.
That's funny. So were you anticipating, like when you asked for this huge, I mean, that's a big ask. Did you anticipate that you were going to get this present?
I mean, now the thing is, now I often think about this, and I sound pretty spoiled, but I feel like I wasn't. There wasn't
Mhm.
much. There were very very few times did my parents manage to not
Wow.
get the thing I wanted, which is all power to them on
Yeah,
very much a budget. But I mean, it meant getting some of the things second hand or whatever from time to time. But
absolutely.
the, the big ask was answered like 9.9 times out of 10. Um,
Awesome.
but I feel like and the same. I feel for my own son now. I think I was very, or relatively good in my choices or limited. Like I get it. if I'm gonna get the Sega, then I'm not going to get the Sega and like a ton of action figures as well. You know, it's kind of like an either or situation. So it was
Hmm.
like, if I can get that, that'll do. That's okay. You know.
Right.
So you know, I feel like we worked together. It was teamwork. Okay, so Christmas present. Um,
Yes.
what's on what's on Santa's list for this year?
For
Either for yourself, or what are the kids asking for? What do kids want these days, 2024?
my kids are really easy. Lego. My oldest is a Lego fiend. Um, and luckily, right, it's one of those things where you can get it, he can build them, and then if he gets tired of them, we can sell them for almost what we paid for it. Like the Lego
Yeah.
cycle just comes in and goes right back out. My middle guy, he's my big Smash player, but him and the youngest are getting more into some Steam games,
All right.
right? Being able to play online and play together. Um, but for them, it's also becoming more of a thing of having their own. Like this is mine. So for
Ah,
Christmas, I know they each asked for some different games, even just for the Switch. But to have my game has become a bigger deal as they get older. So they're both getting their game. It's going to be the only copy in the house. So they're going to have to, share or like ask permission. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. We haven't really done this before where it's like, okay, this is your game and this is your game. Usually it's our game that's
yeah.
coming and we just kind of share freely, which is ridiculous. Like I bought this. Why don't I get to play first? Um for me for Christmas, hi R Rob.
Hey.
Um
Hey.
for me for Christmas, I already had my big ask and it already came true. My parents kind of let us know this Christmas was going to be a little bit bigger and they were willing to spend to a certain price point. And so the husband and I asked for a PS5.
Oh, okay.
With the Monster Hunter coming out, it was like, I really, really would like this. And so without them letting us know, I might cry talking about this. Without them letting us know, my parents had it shipped to our house. Like just
Oh.
boop, not gonna make you wait, right? Not gonna do the anticipation. It just showed up and it seriously was a Christmas morning situation. Even though it came in an Amazon box, right? It still was like, oh my gosh, why is this here? And I was so excited because I got to play the Monster Hunter beta. I had not anticipated that I was going to have that privilege, and my parents, without knowing, like they're in their
Oh.
70s, did not do that on purpose. But
Wow.
yeah, it was a Christmas miracle, absolutely.
Oh, fantastic. Now, Christmas future, or maybe not so much Christmas, because I knew this was going to come up. I mean, I was going to bring it up, but yeah, for gaming wise, for future for 2025,
Ooh,
yeah, there's 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 really, I mean, there's not only one, but there's one really big one that I know we both have our eyes on. We've just mentioned it. Let's mention it again. If Capcom want to pay us for this, that's okay. That's
yeah,
quite all right. We
please, actually.
we accept all major credit cards, or just cold hard cash, or just a free copy of Monster Hunter Wilds. We'll do.
Amazing.
um, yeah, I didn't do the beta.
Did
I
you?
didn't do the beta. It almost felt like sort of like spoilery
Oh,
in a weird way that I again, as you said, alluded to. I want to have that anticipation,
yeah.
and I want to tick off those weeks, days, and then I want to like get the thing and install the thing, and then 2 weeks later play the thing.
Yeah.
Um, I kind of, yeah, I've even stopped watching. Okay, no, I've not stopped entirely, but I've stopped watching too much YouTube about it as well. I'm like, I know
Really?
enough.
I can't.
Like,
I
I
can't
want the
stop,
damn
man.
thing. I know. I was sold. They could have taken my money like what 2, 3 years ago. It wouldn't have been a
But yeah,
problem. So
it was announced like just around a year ago. And it's like, oh my gosh, we've already been waiting this long and it's like 83 days, 85 days yet. Yeah. Coming.
yeah, is there anything else that you're already aware of for next year?
I wouldn't mind updating our VR since now that we have the PS5, we do have some secondhand VRs that we've used on the PlayStation 4. But from what I understand, it's a pretty good jump. And then not a lot of the VR on the PS5 is backwards compatible. You have to have things
Uh,
like it sounds complicated. So at some point, I'm sure we'll have to make that jump and pay that cost to get that new one. Especially as our kids get a little older and maybe we don't really have anybody that's like, oh, I want the VR. Like that's not a big deal yet, but I could see it
yeah,
becoming. Yeah.
I I I don't I don't do any VR. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Just like the technology. I'm impressed by the technology. I like to see it keep advancing. Um,
Right.
Yet at the same time, and I know it scares people, but I'm not really that interested until I'm like totally immersed. Like
Mm,
like I was like plug the thing straight into my brain.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
let me lay down on the bed somewhere safe, and like plug it straight into my brain, and like while ever I'm kind of holding some form of controller or something, I know the headsets are really good and
Yeah.
fool your brain like to a great degree. Watched I've watched people from the outside. Watching people play, as I'm sure you've done, is can
Mm-hmm.
be hilarious. You know that they are feeling it. They are definitely
Yeah.
immersed in another world. Um, but I'm just, yeah, I want the ridiculous, science fiction kind of a full on deal before I feel like, yeah, otherwise, yeah, there's just going to be this all the increments as we,
Yeah.
keep paying out while we get there.
Yeah.
And I feel like, can we just get there and I'll buy that? I'll be straight in that. I'll be all about that. But do you remember the Connect for the 360?
I am a late adopter of OG Xbox. We have not kept up. So I do not know. I know a little like the iToy kind of stuff. I know some of
Yeah.
that, but I don't know the Connect.
The Connect was, I mean, for me, any hardware with video game, it's only as good as the games, right? It can be super powerful. It can have all the processors and all of that good stuff. If for whatever reason developers don't make good games or they can't get the licenses or whatever it is, and
Mm.
hardware will fail. I felt like we did get Connect, which yes, it was kind of like the iToy. There's a camera.
Okay.
It's kind of scanning you and the room, making a like recreating it virtually to put you in the game. So no controllers, nothing like
Oh
the
wow.
Wii U or anything like that.
Hmm.
Just you moving. If you need to kick something, kick. You need to run.
Wow.
Run on the spot. And for me, I was so impressed. It worked. It didn't take off at all, and a lot of the
Yeah.
games were what few games kind of came out before calling it a day. It did kind of suck, but from a
Kind of
technology standpoint, it
interesting.
worked. I have a no more than an average sized living room, and I didn't have to clear much stuff out of the way, to be
Okay.
able to hook it up with the correct distances and everything and get it working. And I felt like it was responsive, and maybe it helped that I'm such a short ass. I think the taller you were, like the further away you might have to be, so the more room you might need. So me being kind of munchkin sized might have helped with that. But I felt like I was like I couldn't wait to see all the. I was like, oh, if you could get like Elder Scrolls book with this, I got to walk around and swinging my sword and opening the chests, and
Right.
which never happened. But
Yeah, they never do the good ideas. That's funny.
um, but it worked, kids. In my opinion, it did work. More people should have took a chance on it. More people should have tried it, and then maybe there'd have been more games. I don't know what the real history is, but yeah, it was almost there. I feel like so like the text, so like a combination of that and what the
Hmm.
VR headsets are doing,
Yeah,
and we're almost there. We're almost there.
it's exciting. I am hesitant maybe to upload my brain and do let AI take over so many things, but at the same time, if we can keep it to having fun and then doing the super
Yeah.
hard stuff, like getting us all to move to other planets or something, like we can keep it reined in, it might make some things really exciting. Um, Retro believer, I am still absolutely exploring the Evercade library. We just recently actually bought um, a lot of games that I have a couple of doubles. So those are going to have to go up on eBay to keep us rolling in the Evercade carts. The SNK announcement that just came out, I'm super curious if there are going to be any cartridges that are going to come for the Evercade, please, because I don't want to buy like a standalone thing. I don't know what's up with that, but absolutely, the Evercade is a great. It's fun, and you can just like plug it in. And I think because the games are so retro, you can just play it. Like it's not like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Like you push the buttons. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Right, let's continue with the festive theme, uh, because what I like to do here, we've already done this before, is a little bit of this or that.
Yes, sir.
So, how about a bit of festive this or that? Why not? If anyone's complaining it's too early, it's not too early.
It's
And
not.
who knows? It might be too late by the time you see this up on YouTube or wherever. So,
There you
like,
go.
never mind. There's no point trying to be topical or relevant, really, on the internet. It's out of date as
Time
soon as
does
you've
not
said it.
matter. But
So, real tree or fake tree?
um, I have too many cats for real trees. So fake.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Mulled wine or hot chocolate?
Ooh, I do love mulled wine. Absolutely. My parents also make a glog that I will consume. But hot chocolate is kind of just one of those like bread and butter. I'll have hot chocolate in July though. So.
Okay. Christmas, the Christmas sweater
Mm.
or matching PJs?
Ooh. Um. See, I'm kind of two minds. Like I love an ugly sweater. Like I'm a big ugly sweater person.
Yeah.
Um, but then usually, so my husband's family, all of the younger generation, all get matching pajamas, and it's really fun. So,
Yeah. I've seen the jumper I want. I've seen a Thundercats.
oh
But
my
of
god,
course, it's Thundercats. Ho, ho, ho.
oh,
Hey! It's so bad.
oh,
It's good.
Lionel, that's
I need it.
awesome.
I need it. I want it. I'm gonna get it. Um, okay. To do you prefer to host Christmas or visit for Christmas?
Yeah, that's a visit, absolutely. I want to be able to leave. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Here's one. I don't know if this will be like a anything about the slight cultural differences we have across the water. But opening presents before dinner or after dinner?
See, right. Like that's a Christmas morning.
Yeah,
We do our family, right, we usually go to church Christmas Eve, get up and do presents.
right. I mean, every time this kind of comes up, I'm like, who waits till after dinner? Who could
That's
possibly
mean.
wait till after dinner?
Right.
I mean, if you are traveling, if you're visiting for dinner, and if
Mhm.
they want to withhold their gifts until you get there, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Oh, trifle or Christmas pudding?
Ooh. See, I don't know that I know the difference. So I
Um,
would, yeah.
yeah. So trifle. Custard, ladyfingers, Jello. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
and Christmas pudding. Fruitcake, sponge thing.
Hmm. I'm gonna go with trifle
Yeah.
then.
Why not? Why not? What else we got? Oh, okay. Uh, white lights or coloured lights?
The tree this year is white, though I do love a good colored, and maybe even like flashing or blinking. Like if you're going colored lights, you can go really obnoxious. But this this year our tree is kind of subdued. Yeah.
Yeah, we have ones. There's a few little devices sort of along the wire, and if you play music and stuff, they won't they won't flash to the beat, but they will just be more or less obnoxious depending on the intensity of the sound it can pick up, um, which is always fun.
Yeah,
Okay, uh, tinsel or ribbons?
I love tinsel.
Yeah. Yes. People think it's tacky. It's not tacky.
It reflects the lights on the tree. Like, what are you doing? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Speaking of the tree, okay. So what's on the top of the tree? Angel or star?
Always been a star. Actually, this year I tracked down because my lights on my tree are not are not like LED, so they're not white. So I needed to hunt down like a more retro star. So
Right.
I found one, and I even had the guy, I'm like, take me a video so I can see that the lights aren't white. It's from like 1989. Like it's almost as old as I am. I'm like, yes, retro. And it's just a star. Like it's not anything fancy, right? It doesn't, because you haven't been to Target. I was gonna say, have you been to Target? Like this year
Never
they
had the
have
pleasure.
so it these tree toppers this year, so it looks just like a basic star and it's a little lit up, but then it has like this obnoxious like projection on the ceiling. And I'm like, what is that? I don't want that. I want a little star. Yeah.
Oh wow. I mean, it wouldn't be Christmas without having to choose between socks or slippers.
So I do both.
Yeah. Okay. Mince pies. Excuse me. Mince pies or Christmas cookie.
I'm a cookie big time. I'm really spoiled. My mother-in-law makes the super fanciest Christmas cookies, like fancy iced.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jealous. Um, I a big thing for us. Uh, used to be my gran, my grandma, my dad's mum. She used to do Boxing Day.
Yeah.
She used to host the family for Boxing Day, and I mean the family.
Ah,
You know those family gatherings where you only know like less than half of the people there, and yet
yeah.
supposedly they're your cousins and aunts and whatever, and you've never seen them before in your life because
Except
they live
for last
away.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, because they like live and work away, and you don't see, especially child. Everyone came, like from
Wow.
people who had like emigrated to Australia came back for this woman's spread because nothing would be shop bought. Everything would be homemade. Uh, Pies, jams, tarts, sandwiches, maybe crisps, chips. Other than that, I think
Keep the
everything
kids
else.
happy. Yeah.
Yeah, that might have been the only thing that wasn't like made on premises.
Mhm.
She must have just been cooking and baking or whatever since like July in
Right.
order to pull this off. But it was fantastic, and no one has been willing to step up and
Yeah.
replace that since she passed. And to be fair, nobody probably could.
Right.
So kind of missed that, but such is life. Um, so, you got a favorite Christmas movie? I'm really trying to rattle through this. It's been a little less casual conversation.
Um, my
I will
favorite
ramble.
Christmas movie. So I guess what's your favorite Christmas movie? While I fix my gravelly voice.
Yeah, well, I have only a half a nose at the moment. That's causing me problems. Well, I mean, if it's got to be a quote unquote Christmas movie,
Yeah.
then I'm probably gonna go with the obvious. I can't. Not sure if I can pick one, but I'm gonna watch Gremlins, and I'm gonna watch Scrooged. You
I
know,
haven't
and I'm
ever seen
and I'm gonna
Scrooge.
and I'm gonna watch the Muppets.
Okay.
And yes, probably gonna watch Die Hard, but again, I'd do that any
Do that.
time of year anyway. But
Well, the husband sent me something recently that said, and it was a quote from Tolkien, like a quote that the party departed on the 25th of December. So
yes,
therefore, Lord of the Rings is a Christmas movie, and I'm like, done. We
yeah.
haven't done that yet with the kids, so maybe that's what we'll do this year.
Oh, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Right?
You see, that's the other thing for me. The the big thing, my actual Christmas
Yeah.
movies are not Christmas movies. Christmas was always original trilogy Star Wars. For
No.
me, that was the time when you had enough time. Now you
Yeah.
now
Fair.
you need it. Now, if you're going to do like the whole Star Wars thing, you could do it 2 Christmases back to back now. But
Yeah.
so traditionally, although again, I do stick these things on, willy nilly any time of year, but I will always find myself watching Star Wars around Christmas time.
That's
Uh,
great.
and then Lord of the Rings happened. And
Yeah.
again, just for finding time. Well, when everybody's got time, when no one's at school and no one's at work and everybody's here, that became the time to sit through all three extended director's cut versions
Like 7 hours.
yeah, of the Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
So like those two franchises are actually the bulk of my sort of traditional Christmas viewing.
That's awesome. See, I don't think we have. So when I was growing up, we would, right, with the VCR tape the holiday specials when they were on TV,
Yeah.
so that we could like watch them whenever we wanted. And so it became like this sacred VHS tape, right? That I'm gonna bet my parents still have it, right? That had the original Grinch and the Charlie Brown Christmas and Rudolph and Frosty and all those like TV special things. But for me, I always watch It's a Wonderful Life somewhere. And you have to like be in the mood for it
yeah.
because it's not like Christmas. It's like, what is the meaning of life? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the original Miracle on 34th Street.
Yes.
I still black and white. I want Edmund Gwynn. I love
Oh yeah.
love
Yeah.
the original. Yep.
Yeah, that is without a doubt a classic. Now, just to, again, without wanting to talking about Miracle on 34th Street, without wanting to get too put too much of a downer on this fantastic festive fun that we're having, but to also circle it back around to video games. Um, a lot of people, it's not like the richest pickings for Christmas video games wise.
Mm.
There's not. I mean, it depends what you want. In the big AAA department,
Yeah.
anyway, I think it's a little bit lacking.
Yeah.
But I've seen a lot of criticism about that. We recently had the Game Awards where a DLC won Game of the Year, which is, I don't know if that's technically even fair, to be honest, but whatever. Now, here's the thing. If anyone's not up to speed with this, if you remember the writers' strike in Hollywood
Okay.
last year, and which they were damn justified to do, and I'm glad they did, and I support them 100%. And the actors, thankfully, showed their support, jumped in, and that's why the movie biz has been a little bit. There's not quite exactly been like hit after hit after hit. There's like summer blockbusters have been a
Fair.
little bit thin on the ground.
Yeah.
We had this whole strike thing ran for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And they were right to fight for what they did, and they should have got even more. They're only going to be striking again in the not too distant future. Now, uh, voice actors, our wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful voice actors involved in the video game industry have been on strike, are
Yes.
still on strike, have been striking since July the 26th.
Mm-hmm.
That's 136 days.
Yeah.
These wonderful men and women have been sticking up for themselves, trying to get a fair deal, fair recompense for services rendered, the AI protections, which is just going to be a thing whether we like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of video game production, a lot of the bigger budget video game production, the kind of video game production that may have a lot of voice lines, potentially even by very some famous names you might know, kids.
Right.
Even if the work's been done, there are little wrinkles where it may not be allowed to be released until this issue is resolved.
Right.
And that's causing some problems, but in the best way, because these people have every right, and I support them to be on strike. If that means, I have to just play Streets of Rage again, then so be it. I'm okay with that. I can do that. I'll power through because they are right and justified.
Yes.
And that's as political as I'm going to get. I know it's one of those things. It doesn't seem to be overly common knowledge. I don't think
It
the thing
really
that Frog
doesn't.
News exactly reports on it every day, saying day 330, day 331.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a giant problem. So I had the privilege of working at a gaming expo in Columbus, being in November. And so that brought me the even grander privilege of meeting Steve Downs
Oh,
and Jen Taylor and the voices of Halo. And so Steve was very happy to give interviews and talk on camera and stuff, but he bookended it every time with I'm on strike because
damn.
they want to copy and own my voice. And that's
Yeah.
not okay. And it was like to have the voice of Master Chief saying
Yeah.
these kinds of things. And it's like, of course it's not okay. Like, I don't think any consumer on our end think that it is okay. So it's sad to me that it is still kind of like people are like, where are all the big games? And it's like, they can't make them because the
Yeah.
talent won't work right now. Yeah, it's wild.
They're right. I mean, look, they're not, because these people. It was the same. I spoke to a lot of people about this, and it was the same for the writers, the actors.
Yeah.
It's not about like banned AI. AI is evil. AI is
Right.
brilliant. It's a fantastic tool. It's going to make shitloads of things easier, quicker, better, as technology does, as humans and our crazy big brains. When we're not, because when we're not busy killing each other for you know, no real
Yeah.
reason, or because my invisible friend's better than
Right.
yours, or whatever pathetic thing we still do. When we're not doing that, we're fucking amazing. Um,
Yeah.
and artificial intelligence as yet another tool, from banging on cave walls, from hitting something with a rock, to space shuttles, and now artificial intelligence. And it's
Right.
going to be great, but
But
it has to be done responsibly. It has to be reined in. And a lot of these actors, they don't want it banned. They're just like, sample my voice, record my voice, use my voice. Just pay me every time you use my voice because it's my
exactly.
voice.
Right.
It's like, which just seems like common sense, right? Like, it's
Yes.
really cheeky to want to say, I will give you X amount to just own your voice, and then that's it. That one-off payment, that
Right.
flat rate, and now no matter how many games or how many movies
Yeah.
I use this voice in, no, it's mine now. Like,
It's crazy.
no.
But those people can't talk for the rest of their lives. Like that's the thing. Like, are you gonna get fined for talking in
Well,
public? Like the
yeah,
lines need to be drawn before it becomes huge. Yes. Yes.
yeah. But they'll day 136, and it's the video game industry, much like it was. I mean, the movie, like the big movie houses, they were always going to cave in. They do the it's kind of like periodical, every couple of decades or so.
Yep.
Um, obviously, workers have every right to try and get a better deal for themselves, in whatever industry. Um, but this year, or the other year, it was due to streaming services. It was really our wonderful friends over. I'm not gonna. You can't say the N word um, on the internet, so I won't. But our wonderful friends over there, among others, but mainly them, just really thought it was pointless. They just didn't get it. They really thought they could hold out, and that these guys
Yeah.
would just go, okay, yeah, have it, which is just ridiculous. They genuinely seem to think that they could win and that it'd be acceptable. As you say, as if the consumers would be okay with that.
Right.
Um, like, forgetting all about the simple supply and demand kind of thing
Yeah.
that's at work here. But yeah, so I feel like the video game industry, a lot like the streamers, they're kind of going, well, there was a time when you had no voice acting and you didn't mind. You still played games, you still loved them,
Mm-hmm.
and we still sold shitloads of games. And everybody's loving retro gaming and stuff, which has like no voice acting and things. So I think they're very kind of cheekily trying to hedge their bets. Like,
Mm,
we don't need you. It's more of a nice bonus or cherry on the top, but that you're not essential, and they're not. To all intents and purposes, no, no.
yeah.
Full voice acting is not essential. I don't need it for the games that I play. Uh, but if it's more of a case. If the games industry, if the developers want it, if the publishers want it, it's not really the developers. The developers, I think, are pretty cool about this.
Yeah.
I imagine most developers are probably on the actors' side. It's more of a publisher's thing. Uh, but yeah, if they want it, well, nothing good comes for free.
Exactly. It's not like you don't have money. You have more money today than you had yesterday. Like it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just quickly before we move on, when it comes to voice acting in video games, do you does it really make any difference to you? Not just voice acting, but we're starting to get more and more like legit celebrities. Keanu
Mm.
Reeves, Idris Elba, Norman Reedus. I'm just thinking
Yeah.
of really obvious ones off the top of my head. Does that in any way, necessarily, if the game features the voice of Keanu Reeves, and
Hmm.
if you could have like it's the exact same game, but it's a professional voice actor. You may or may not know. I'm very familiar with a lot of my favorite voice actors, but a lot of people don't know, aren't bothered. You know,
Yeah.
would does it make any difference? Would you edge to the Keanu one, or would it be like if it was
Mm.
like if the same game with I'm going to say Nolan North. Well, a lot of people do know, or at least I hope you know.
Yeah.
And he's a big star and an incredibly nice dude. If you get the chance to meet him at a con or anything, the guy's fantastic. Um,
Awesome.
but so if it's Nolan North or
Mm-hmm.
Keanu, and the Nolan North is like $10 cheaper because it's only
Oh.
Nolan, you know, does it really sell the game all that much? Get it a celeb in?
For me, right. For me personally, I would tend towards the voice actor. That person's their craft, right? Their skill is just being a voice, where, right, Keanu or whomever else has a different kind of way of going about their business, I guess. Like it,
Yeah.
yeah, I would happily go with the no name, which is an awful thing to say because, right, Nolan North again is a very gifted human being that
Very.
could do whatever he wants. Read the phone book on a video game and I would be in. Yeah, like that's such an interesting thing, and I wonder if they're thinking that that's going to help sell. Like, did Cyberpunk sell better because of Keanu's name? I don't
I
know.
don't. You know what? I don't think so. I think
Right?
Cyberpunk sold because of Geralt's name.
Yeah.
I, I think it was just if you can string a few hits together,
Yeah.
you build a sort of brand loyalty.
Yes.
And I mean, people who have little or no interest in science fiction or cyberpunk, you're not going to buy it because it's just not your thing. If you like the medieval fantasy, you're okay with that. That's good. People with more rounded interests or whatever, it's like, okay, so these guys who made these games now doing something sci-fi, I'll give that a whirl.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's it. It didn't need him. He's pretty good. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed his. I think it's one of his better performances, to be quite honest with you.
It's fun. Yeah. It did add something. I mean, it does add something to the experience,
Yeah,
but yeah.
but I could give that script. I could give the Cyberpunk script to Nolan North and go, okay, you're Johnny Silverhand. 3, 2, 1, go, and it would be a fantastic. It would be very different,
Yeah.
but it
Yeah.
would be.
Oh, yeah.
But it would be a fantastic, charismatic Johnny Silverhand that we would all love just the same. Because Nolan, I'm on a Nolan North trip now. Again, Nolan, if you want to pay us for this, we do take all major credit cards. But it's because Nolan North is Deadpool. Sorry, Ryan. Terribly sorry, Mr. Reynolds, but Nolan North is Deadpool. It's the way that Conroy is Batman. Apologies to the other Batman. You're all wonderful in your own way.
No apologies.
Conroy is Batman.
Apologize for that.
and Nolan North is Deadpool.
I
He just is.
Yeah.
Much
I
in
guess
the
I've
same
never.
way,
Yeah.
much in the same way Steve Blum is Wolverine, because he's not Australian for one thing. That helps. But
Nobody else cares. Isn't that funny? It's like, you guys, yeah.
yeah,
That's interesting.
an Australian who spent most of his career trying to convince people he's American
Right.
plays
Right.
arguably one of the most famous Canadian characters. He's also really tall. The character's really short, but that's really tall people have played hobbits, so it's like it's okay. There's movie magic. That I'm not going to hold that against him.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've done it. Since last time, I'm going to let you go. Since last time we met, that has in fact been a thing. Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
You're not behind on that one, I take it. I assume
No,
you've managed to squeeze that one in by now.
Absolutely went and saw that one in the theater. Yep.
Theaters, yeah. And Honest opinions. Like, if it's a hot take, I don't mind. We can be controversial on
I
here.
say it's it's hilarious. I mean, and at this point, I feel like those gentlemen know that they have free reign, right? That they can do absolutely whatever. Because the story, I'm sorry, the story was garbage. Like, just spend 2 hours goofing around and dancing if that's what you want to
Yeah,
do.
it's
But
yeah.
don't pretend it has a story. Ah,
Yes.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I have. I've been shot down so many times for this, so it's great to have a bit of backup for a change. Yeah, as a film, a
Yeah.
movie, a storytelling experience, it's not great. It's not a it's a bad film by all accounts, in
Yeah.
that way. But yeah, is it entertaining?
Oh my
You
God.
know,
Yeah.
did I love the costumes? Could
Yeah.
I just watch the cowl coming down on loop over and over and over and over
Yeah.
again? Yes, yes, I could.
Yeah.
Um,
Or
did I
Johnny
love that?
Storm showing up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's still like one of the funniest parts of the movie. Like,
yeah,
come on.
yeah,
They could do whatever they want. And they kind of did.
yeah. You know,
Don't pretend it's, yeah. Don't pretend there's a story.
did I
Yeah.
did I love the Madonna song anyway? Yes, I
Yeah.
did. Has it got a whole new meaning, lease of life now? Yes, it has.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just goes to show. I think this is just me, and I know Marvel. I know the MCU's had a bit of a rough ride. Uh, People are it's kind of going off the boil or whatever, but this was a thing. As soon as you took it away from Fox and gave it to Marvel, now I know a lot of the same people were involved, the same actors. I know there were the same main writer,
Yeah.
but you look at the credits and you look at the producers and you look at the other writers who helped out too. And so as soon as you put it in the hands of Marvel,
Yeah.
you know, it just it it peaks because
Yeah.
it's just because they know their own characters and they will always do them better. It's kind of like with the like who's the best Spider-Man? And it's like if you don't get just nostalgic for your first Spider-Man, or you don't want to be all hipster and try and go for the cool Spider-Man,
Yeah.
Tom Holland is probably the best Spider-Man. Not really though, but he has Marvel writing,
Yeah.
so he
Yeah.
says all the right lines
Well,
because
and
he's
he's
the
got
he's
like
the
a
first kid.
cohesive story. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
first actor that had the advantage of having Marvel script writers
Yeah.
write for him. So he says Peter Parkery things and he says Spider-Man-y things. Now, other actors may say them better if they were given a chance,
Mm.
granted.
Yeah.
But he has that advantage. And it shows
And he's
to me,
gonna have it.
for
That
me.
man could be 55 and they'll still make Spider-Man movies. Yeah.
Yeah, Sony needs to give the rights back. Sony, if you're listening, I don't want a penny from you. I just need you to
Please
give
don't
the rights
take any money
back.
from
Stop being ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right? How many flops do you need to get
Yeah.
the message through?
Yeah,
That
just stop. Just
because
stop. Yes.
I mean, did not I mean it's like 10 years ago now or more that Disney offered
Yeah.
you the kind of money that can buy like entire African countries, you know, and you're trying to convince the world that Spider-Man is yours, and he's not. Unfortunately, all the people that Spider-Man's actual parents are all dead now. Never mind Uncle Ben, but
Luckily.
Kirby's got, Kirby's gone and Stan's gone, and but the legacy remains, and that's where Spider-Man needs to be. Everyone else saw the light. Um, get it done, Jesus. If you do one thing, if you do one thing next year, Sony, do that thing.
There you go.
And that way I can have a Spider-Man game on Xbox as well.
Ooh, there you go.
Because we're
Hey.
not allowed. Because we're not allowed to do that, even when you have the
Yeah,
same game.
that's
So Spider-Man always has to be DLC and has to be DLC that I can't buy. So let's sort this shit out, right? They're going to do it now because we said so. Who could argue with us? We want it, we get it.
I wish.
Um, oh, it's fantastic. Well, let's wrap it up. I'm going to thank you very, very much for your time. It's been a pleasure as always. It's been a bit like on it, laser focus, trying to hit this time limit
We
mark.
did good.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully we'll do this again, and hopefully we'll find some opportunity to have some big, sprawling, relaxed,
Talk about
super long video that no one will ever
one
watch.
will ever watch.
But it's fine. But I'll have like a lifetime supply of 60-second clips
Yeah.
from it that'll just keep racking up the views. So we'll do that now. Since last we met, I've had a slight bit of a rebrand into everything's now under the
Yeah.
Johnny Fox banner,
Mhm.
or the Snicked banner of old. So, which also helped me to end
Really?
the videos because now I end every video. Rather, I don't end it. You do.
Oh.
You do. Yeah. If I could just, I've started a thing where I always ask the guests if you
Yes.
could just tell the kids at home, if you could just say for me, till next time, keep it foxy. Now, you,
I can do
now
that.
I'll give you carte blanche on this. You can do it comedically. You could do it energetically. You could do it erotically for all I care. I don't. It's completely up to you.
Get
If you
ready.
do it festively,
Ready?
if oh look at that. If you
Here's
had a celebrity
this is
impersonation,
Dr. Yes, this is Dr. Egon Spengler
oh well,
telling folks at home to keep it foxy.
oh, oh
Perfect.
keep it foxy, kids.
Doesn't he look like Egon?
I'll forget to check out your spores, molds, and fungus. Till next
Yeah.
time.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Johnny.